Let's see. Okay. Here we go. What time is it?
That's right now. We on Right Now Radio. You know
We
that,
live
man.
on Rite Now Radio. You know what we doing here. All
It's
right.
right now. It's right now. That's what time it is.
Yeah, so
Yes,
tonight
sir.
we got Mr. Brandon Rivers. He's an MMA fighter. And he has a lot of experience in the field fighting this sport. And we're gonna actually speak to him about a lot of different education opportunities and his experience as well. But first thing first, got to ask you, Brandon. Did you get that deposit paid?
Oh yeah, man. Look, check in the mail. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You put a check in the mail this morning.
Yeah, check in the mail,
All right,
man.
man.
Hey,
Look,
look, 3 to 5 business days. You know
yeah,
what I'm
now
saying?
look, I'm gonna need that check by Monday, man.
Oh yeah. I got you. I got you. One of these Mondays. Now, one of these Mondays, it gonna
One
be
of them,
there.
one of them, man.
One of them might
I
not
need that
might
to
not be
happen.
this Monday.
I need to be this Monday, man. It's almost April 1st. Don't give me no April Fool joke, man.
All right, sure. Yeah, all right, I got you. It gonna come on. I got you. It's gonna come on March 32nd.
32nd, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the cash out, dude.
No, we good. I'm telling you, but you scaring me though, man. I
Oh no,
keep seeing
man.
my screen through the. I be worried about you,
Yeah,
man.
man. I gotta go ahead and do another Windows update on this computer, man. So, man, I
Yeah,
have a lot of tabs open at one time.
understandable. Understandable. All right, look, man, that's something that I will say. We do have in common with the MMA world. You're gonna have a lot of tabs open. Like I said, I appreciate that warm welcome.
Oh yeah, of
I,
course.
I I definitely have participated in the mixed martial arts as a fighter, as a coach, as a matchmaker, promoter, anything that you can imagine in the mixed martial arts world. I've been a part of that, and that's something that not a lot of people can say at this point in time.
No,
You know, it's the sport itself is only 20 years old, 21 years old now. Now that
that's
we're in
it.
2023,
That's
and a
it.
lot of people don't realize that.
No,
You know.
then I thought it was around way longer than that.
No, the actual sport with the unified rules was created in 2002. So even though the actual organization of the United UFC is older, it's 30 years old. You know, they're celebrating their 30-year anniversary this year. But what you saw on TV before they became successful and a household name
Right.
was no holds barred fighting. You know, you go look at that early tape of those fighters, and they have no gloves on. They have no weight classes. I mean, it's pretty barbaric, and they were pretty much being marketed as blood sport. You know, only had a select target audience, and they weren't mainstream. And that's one of the beautiful stories in sports history, is how the mixed martial UFC became profitable over 10, 15 years. They it took a long time before they were able to become profitable, and now we see them as a multi-billion-dollar in this corporation. So
Wow.
it just really goes to show, and blueprint is there for having that massive success. But once again, the company, the most successful company on the planet and regarding mixed martial arts, is only 30 years old.
So, so,
So
so tell me, what sparked your interest to enter mixed martial arts?
tell you what, I was watching on TV one day. This is, like I said, back in UFC. This man, man, I don't know. Watching on TV. It's like, man, it's at least what, 13, 14 years ago. Just watching it on TV, and seeing some people on TV. I said, you know what? I think I could do that. I think
Really?
I could do that. Yeah, just starting. So I think I can do that. At
Mm.
that time, a lot of people ask that. A lot of people are curious as to how they get started in MMA. The
Right.
first thing I would say is just Google it. That's what I did.
Just
I
Google.
actually typed in Google how to be an MMA fighter,
And
and
I'm pretty sure you might have been asked this. Did you get into fights a lot as a kid?
no, no, I didn't. I didn't actually get into fights a lot as a kid. You know, what drew me to the sport was competition. The competition.
Mhm.
I played a lot of sports. I played football.
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
wrestled.
Okay.
I played soccer.
Soccer.
I ran track. I
Okay.
played all the sports. And
Basketball.
when I so
Basketball too.
I played basketball. I wasn't no good at basketball. I
Okay.
didn't develop my
Okay.
basketball skills until I was already an adult. So,
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Yeah. We played basketball at the house, but I didn't make the
Okay.
team. I ain't
Yeah.
never tried out for the team. I was more once again, I was more of a wrestler.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sure.
during basketball season, I let my brothers pick up the basketball, and I picked up people.
You picked up
So
people. Man,
yeah,
that's something. You said your brothers picked up basketball, you picked up people. Man.
yeah, that's right. Hey, I mean, shoot, that what happened. Basketball,
Man.
that's the one sport I didn't ever try out for. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave that to somebody else. I'm a little too aggressive for that. Not that
Yeah.
I want to get, not that I was trying to get in the fight, but
Yeah.
shoot, they say I play defense too hard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure you probably were a defensive specialist. Very
yeah, that's
aggressive.
right. Hey, all
Very
the
aggressive.
sports.
You were the
Uh,
modern day Dennis Rodman.
shoot, yeah. You're right about that. Look, shoot, I would be out there asking for 10 fouls. Like, no, I'm on 6 fouls. No, yeah, what's me? That was no
We
foul.
could have
No
put you in
blood,
the
no foul.
hey, we could put you in the Olympics.
No, no more Olympics. No more Olympics. Like I say,
Hey,
I
what
like to focus my energy on the educate, on giving back.
right,
I,
right.
I've had my career.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. People don't always understand that if you don't see somebody on UFC, in the UFC, which is a organization, it
Mhm.
is not the only professional organization. As a matter of fact, less than 1% of all fighters will ever make it to the UFC. So, it is it's not that's not how the majority of the sport is run, and that's not how the majority of the sport is living, right?
Right.
So, you look at these guys, and even though the main conversation around UFC in recent years has been fighter pay and the lack thereof, but I'm here to tell you that the pay from the promotion shouldn't be the fighter's main goal, right? So
Right.
this is an entertainment industry, but it happens to deal with a lot of fighters, and fighters do not realize because of the nature of the sport that they are in the entertainment industry, right? They don't realize that as a fighter, you're like, you're thinking, I'm a fighter. Last thing you want to do is equate yourself with artists I mean, not artists, but you know, musical artists, actors, you know, the entertainers that we think of as entertainers. But in reality, that's what they are doing, and that's where homegrown MMA comes in, the business that I founded here.
Oh, I see you. See with the drill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we focus on educating that next generation of fighter on how they can leverage what they're doing into financial opportunity, because they don't think of themselves as a business, as a brand, or in the entertainment industry. Therefore, they're missing out on a lot of different opportunities in which the sport will grow and they will grow and put dollars in their pockets. Like I said, you're talking about fighter pay at the top level. They're complaining about $50,000 pays, $10,000 pays. Now that's great. It's still not enough. Still not enough for what you're doing. For what you're doing.
It's not,
The
man. Cause
it's
I think y'all need hazardous pay. Yeah,
yeah,
y'all need the
right.
same pay they get
I
in
think so.
Afghanistan. That was y'all.
I understand, right? And you're right though. Like, look, we get traumatic brain injuries,
Yes,
and
I
you
mean, like
know,
y'all get worse hits than football players. I'm serious.
oh yeah,
Real
for
sport.
sure. It's a very violent sport, and
Yeah.
but you got to understand that these guys aren't looking at it like that because they're just
What
looking
y'all
for
want to
that
do?
platform.
But
Yeah, we're
let me
looking
ask
for
you
that
this.
platform.
Let me ask
Go
you
ahead.
this now. What did your parents say
Go
when
ahead.
we decided to do mixed martial arts? You know,
They hate it.
I'm sure they
They do
did.
not like it.
I'm sure they did because most of our parents love to brag on what we do for a living and say, hey, my son is working in IT field. I know I had Mass Workforce base. My son is in the NBA doing real estate. And how would your parents describe what you do for a living?
They would describe it. No,
And what
no.
you say?
I don't know if they would describe it. No, but seriously, so like I said, I think they would probably say that I work in the mixed martial arts world in the sports industry. I think they would lead with that.
Oh wow.
And then, I think it would probably go down the ladder to combat sports, but that's just because that's my parents. They don't really look at it as a lot, lucrative or because it's still so young.
Mhm.
It's still something that to them is unproven, right? And
Right.
that's a awesome opportunity for the sport. Like I said, as the fastest growing sport in the world, you have all this attention on you. All of a sudden you get somebody, uh you've never really had any opportunity until this point for anyone to say, "Hey, I work with mixed martial arts. I am a promoter for mixed martial arts company, or I manage mixed martial arts fighters." So people don't really or know how to judge that job. They're like, "Oh, what does that do?" Now, like I say, as when I was fighting all the questions all centered around, but once again, the questions don't come about pay. And then they never ask you about how much you get paid. They ask you, how do you do that? Why do you want to get punched in the face? Why do you want to go through
Yeah.
that? That's what they ask you.
Right.
And, and that's a question that I'm like, I always say, hey, look, first of all, nobody ever wants to get punched in the face. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't go out there with the intention of I am gonna go get punched in the face. You go out there with
Never
the
do.
intention
I mean,
of
that's just like on the football field. Like I see, you never plan to get tackled or to get hit real hard, but eventually
nope.
it happens. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But when it happens, you deal with it when it comes. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? That's essentially how athletes deal with it and look at it, because the goal is never to get knocked out. It
Right.
just is a byproduct of the sport that we're playing.
Mhm.
And you're
And
willing you want to put
and
yourself. Go ahead.
I would say, and at what age did you begin fighting? Did you win your first fight?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a rare. That's okay. So when I started fighting.
Wow.
I was 19 years old.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, like I said, so I was on Google this website, Google, and it's MMAfinder.com, MMAfinder.com. And I made a profile, and within a week or so, I had scheduled myself a fight from the website. I live in Georgia. The fight was in Tennessee. I weighed 205 pounds at the time, and the fight was from 170. It was 170. So I was like, okay, all right, y'all give me a fight. I'll do what I need to do to get there. So I was like, in 2 weeks, I needed to get up to Tennessee and lose 35 pounds. So, and I didn't
And
even
how did you
have any
do that?
training.
Tell me, like, how did you actually lose 35 pounds so fast?
Determination and trash bags. That's,
Determination, trash bags.
yeah,
So
man.
also too, like, what kind of routine do a lot of MMA and UFC fighters follow? For us like the training regimen, because I know as basketball players like myself, we do a lot of cardio, high intensity workouts. We lift weights, high reps, moderate weights. But like, what does that routine look like for fighters?
So when it comes to fighting, you're only as good as your coaches and your training partners. So a lot of like when you see that cardio, so you're gonna have multiple different coaches, okay, because it's mixed martial arts, and you're gonna have multiple, like I said, that's the issue. That's so many different ways to do it, right? So you're gonna go to your MMA coaches, and then you're gonna have your boxing coaches, then you have your wrestling coaches, your kickboxing coaches, um, and then with cardio, the cardio is usually gonna come with everything, and then you gotta have your strength and conditioning, and then your cardio days. But I would say that it really looks different for different fighters, and that's kind of an issue. Like I say, with the basketball regimen, you get with the team, you're all training together, or if you get your private basketball coach, you're all training on the same page. And as if you're doing that same thing with the in MMA, but there's so many different gyms that train in different ways that, once again, we're at this point in MMA or mixed martial arts where we're still trying to figure out what is best. There's still so, like I said, people are doing it so many different ways. We're still at that point. We haven't reached that saturation point where everybody comes and works together towards the common goal. We still have, there's 300 to 400 different MMA promotions all working independently of each other. And, there's several thousand gyms all working independently of each other. You know, it's that's a really difficult question to answer,
Hmm.
honestly. But
So,
but I
similar, well, to add to that, say instantly, like, when I was 6 years old, I started playing basketball at the YMCA. So simple, my dad took me to the YMCA, signed me up, for the youth league, right? So
right.
if someone wanted to take MMA, martial arts, or boxing, how would they go about trying to sign up to learn the fundamentals?
So you're gonna want to go to the gym, go to your local mixed martial arts or combat sports gym,
Hmm.
and if you're young like that, you're gonna want to inquire about their children's programs, and a lot of them
Yes.
have it these days. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that's different goals though. That's just like that's so. Once again, we're having all of these MMA promotions and gyms and everything is coming up because it's the hottest sport in the world right now. Okay,
Hmm.
like I said, this is the wild wild west. All right, when it
Yes.
comes to it's the wild wild west. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so you got the old school gyms that only focus on the fighters, like only want fighters, only want pro fighters, only want the killers. And then you have the new gyms, like you said, that because it's becoming so mainstream that people are asking that question. I want my kids to grow up in this sport and to get the benefits of martial arts and the discipline that comes along with that. So there's a lot of gyms that come up and they have children's programs, but they don't have fighting programs. And like I said, and that only time is going to tell how that works out because there's different goals for everybody. If you don't want to compete, there's definitely some benefits that can be had especially from as a child.
Mhm.
Uh, any combat sport, anything
Hmm.
wrestling, anything that when you get beat, you get beat.
Ooh.
Um, and you're gonna benefit and learn from
Yeah.
that as a man,
So first of all,
as
tell
a
me,
person.
I have two more questions. So,
Only two more.
well, no, I got way more, but these two here just just on the top of my mind right now. And for one, so when you won your first fight, you told me you fought at 19. Number one, I'm just gonna just ask you, how bad did you beat that dude?
That's video on YouTube. Uh, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
video on YouTube.
so it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It was about 3 minutes of domination,
Ugh.
but I'd say that it was a one in TKO 2 minutes and 57 seconds into the first round,
And
and
I'm guessing like what type of attention did you draw from that?
yeah, like I said, the dangerous kind,
Oh,
dangerous kind
a
of
lot of people
attention, man.
coming for you. I'm pretty sure your parents probably like, you know what? I can't watch you do that, huh?
Yeah, they definitely, like I said, to this day, they don't watch it. They don't watch it. They
Right,
don't,
right.
they don't watch that.
My next question
All
was,
right.
what was the first fight you lost?
There you go. Okay, there you go. Because that's a big deal. That's a big difference. I'm telling you. So on
Uh-huh.
top of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while. So, and I tell you, man, it's okay. So I went up first fight, and this is within 2 weeks of no training, no nothing. I mean, I found a gym coach that would train me. I literally had 2 days of training before that, and they told me we don't think you're ready. Don't we? Actually, they didn't come up there with me. I had to go by myself to my first fight. No coaches. My corner was my brothers. They ain't have no fight. It was a family affair, and you know it was, went up there and won. And, so I came back with the video. So I came back with that video and they're like, oh, okay, then. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we want to work with you. Yeah, okay, yeah, man, don't worry about training. Look, we're gonna get you another fight in a couple months. We're gonna work with, everything changed all of a sudden, right? And so get another fight in Atlanta, Georgia, go out there. This time, got some training, knock the guy out in 6 seconds. All right.
Six
So
seconds.
6 seconds, fastest
Man,
knockout in Georgia
man, you
history.
move fast too.
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah, man, check him out. Brandon Rivers on YouTube. Um, but that's how it starts. You going out, and having a good time, and it's I'm like, okay, yeah, man, okay, get that 6 second knockout. Let's run it. Let's okay, anybody who want that smoke, who want that smoke, and that's how I felt. 19, 20-year-old young man.
Mm,
And until you take a defeat, you don't know you can be defeated.
yeah,
And so at this point,
right.
I was 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And I was going up again. It's like take anybody, give me anybody. So and this is where I learned a lot in the MMA industry. So I was fighting at at this point I had gotten down to 170. That was my comfortable weight that I was fighting at, walking around at 185, right?
Mm,
So I don't care. I'm 2-0, got a 6 second knockout. I don't care, whatever.
cocky.
Uh, you know,
Got
no,
cocky.
that's absolutely was cocky. And so, they're like, all right, we got this guy that nobody else wants to fight. Now, he walks around at 185. He walks around at 185. That's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they said.
That's what they said.
Uh, you know,
That's what they
he's,
said.
that's what they said now. That's what they're gonna tell you. Um, they say he walk around at 185. You walk around at 185. Let's go ahead and get this thing scheduled. You know, you're undefeated at 2-0. He's undefeated at 5-0, And I'm like, okay, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Uh,
Man, I ain't know they had me going up against this guy named Doug Usher, man. Like I said,
who
this
was
is
that?
10 years ago.
And who was that guy?
Doug Usher, Doug Usher is the current number one ranked middleweight in the United States.
Oh,
And
you had to fight him.
he had yeah, he would, but see, remember now, I only been training 2, 3 months now, and this man has
Yeah.
dedicated his entire life
Uh-huh.
to this
Yeah.
this sport and
Right.
training. I think he was 28 years old at the time on his last, and and finishing up his amateur career, getting ready to go pro.
Ooh,
And I was
man.
just, it
They
was
were
a it
trying.
was a great
I
fight.
think. I think they were trying to make you quit.
They I don't know what they was trying to do, but they messed me up pretty good. I'll tell you
It
that
didn't
right now.
work though. I know that it didn't work.
Yeah,
So
it,
tell me,
it didn't work.
tell me, how did you do against him? How did you do?
Oh man, so look, did great for a while. Did great for a while, man. And for a while, for real, no, seriously, nobody had ever made it out of the first round with him.
Ooh,
We had we did it. We did the first round was back and forth. Some you could say I won, some say he won the first round. It was up in the air, but
mm,
somewhere around that second round, my man, like I said, I had never been hit, like really been hit before.
yeah.
2, 3 months into the sport, I had never been really hit before. Man, my boy hit me so hard.
Uh,
Everything went black for a second. I was
oh,
still up though. I was just like I
you
was
were still
blind.
standing. You were
Yeah, I was
still
standing. I
standing.
was
Just
blind though. But see, now that's different.
just a
So
little dizzy.
most people,
Yeah.
I was dizzy. I was blind. No, I'm telling you, it was blind. I was
Ooh,
blind. Like I'm still standing.
man, I
I
can't
know.
even
I just can't
imagine.
see nothing now. And I'm gonna tell you, when you can't see nothing, and you stand in front of a killer, you
Oh,
going to get killed. My
no.
man, I tell you that was my man hit me so hard. I probably flew about 6 feet across about 6 feet across the cage, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
yeah,
tell me
man.
so like just tell me like what's like the most important lesson that you learned over the last 15 years across your MMA career? The biggest lesson. It'd be
Biggest
anything.
lesson:
Yeah.
when you take a loss, when you take a loss, take the time to learn from that loss before you attempt it again.
Mm,
That is the biggest thing that I've learned in life. Just take
mm,
time to assess, reassess, and just
yes, I agree.
you
And
gotta
you know
figure
what?
out
And you
what
know
happened.
what? That can relate to many other areas in life. From let's say from not only trying out for a sports team, but reevaluate, say some of your career goals, career steps. And you maybe missed the bar exam or missed one of your IT certifications. Sit down and go over your strengths and weaknesses, right? Like I said, reassess, and then get back at get back in the gym, get back to studying and practicing, right?
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Shoot, get back in the gym and go back, look at that tape, figure out what you did wrong. And like I said, that it takes time. Like I say, when you first take that L, man, it's so counterintuitive because the only thing you want to do is go get that W. Okay. Only thing I'm telling you, man, it's I'm telling you, this drug, I mean, it's a drug, bro. This fight game is a drug.
Yeah,
It's a bad drug, man. It's a
yeah.
bad drug. But the only thing you want to do is go get that W. And you but you can't. You're so focused on the L that you just took that you
It
literally can't
hurts.
even, it hurts so bad that
It
you can't
hurts. I
even look
bet
at
it
that
does.
tape.
Because
And
because you know what? In this sport, nobody can tell you don't take it personal. It is personal. This dude just hit you in the nose.
it is, but it is, but once again, the people who take it personal, you don't take it personal, deal with it personally. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you gotta deal with it. Is hey, they did what we knew what they wanted to do before they ever,
But
it was no
actually did it.
bad feeling because I wanted to do the same thing to them,
Uh,
and they was okay with that.
mm.
It ain't a matter of I said we're shaking his head like, oh man, like, oh, it's like
Man, hey.
always shaking his head
Man,
like, oh man,
oh
oh man.
no.
I can't punch my friends. It's a different breed, but see,
Yeah.
that's what that is why these guys are valuable, and that's why they can command money. Because I sit here and say that, and the fighters they all understand exactly where I'm coming from. But to the regular person, they sit here and hear punch in the face, and they say, "Nah, nah, 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 not me." But that opens the door for people to understand your journey that you're on. That is it's exciting. People don't understand why would somebody be willing to do that. But because they don't understand,
Mm,
they watch and they look to try to figure it out, and they love to live. People love people, regardless of what people say. They love fights. They just don't like to be in them. So, there's absolutely a market for these guys. And that's what we teach them at Homegrown MMA is how to take what you're doing, take that surprise look that, these guys get when they tell them what they're doing and leverage that into financial opportunity.
mm. And right, I'm glad you mentioned that. So what kind of educational opportunities and financial opportunities are you looking to teach our audience?
So, just the audience, just anybody that works in the entertainment industry. I mean, as we live in 2023, social content creators, we gotta work together, man. Build that team. And when I say build that team, I talk to these guys about all levels of the team. But what they need a lot of, they already have their coaches. What we need is to build that team of your health team, right? You gotta get your body taken care of. Get your management team, make sure that your career is taken care of. And then you're gonna have to get your sponsorship team, the team that's taking care of you financially. And you gotta provide for them, not financially, but you gotta provide that exposure and do your things on your end that are gonna continue to allow for these financial opportunities. Like I say, somebody give you $500, you want to bring them back $1,000, so they'll tell their friend, "This is a great investment. You should invest a little bit more money on this guy. It works." You know what I mean?
That's
That's
how
that's
is that how the MMA fighters get paid sometimes?
that. So look, all right, I gotta ask you a question. You've been
Okay.
asking me some
Okay.
questions. I gotta
Okay.
ask you a
Ask.
question.
Hey, ask away.
All right, I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right.
So, all of this, man. How much? So let's say you want to go out there and you want to be a pro fighter.
All
All
right.
right. How much money you gonna take for your first pro fight?
How much money would I take? As
Yeah.
much as I can get. I mean,
Well, how much is that? How much are you willing to take? Because remember, you're gonna have to fight. You got to fight somebody at some point. But you want to be a pro fighter. You're gonna have to get paid to fight. You have to fight somebody now. So
so
what are you gonna come to the negotiation table with your first time? What you
I'm,
gonna
I'm,
say to
I'm,
them?
I'm gonna say at least what 5,000. I don't know.
5,000,
I'm gonna say
5,000,
5,000. I'm gonna give
5,000.
myself 5,000.
Man.
I'm a flow academy run.
Well, I don't know where you fighting at, man. $5,000. Well, I tell you what, boy. Hey, look, boy, you making
Dude,
it was
probably,
starting off with that UFC money. Dude, no,
I don't know what I'm
no,
fighting. I'm
no,
probably fighting in fifth grade still, honey.
no, yeah. You $5,000. No, you ain't gonna get that. You gonna get like I'll tell you what, you're gonna get hung up on, laughed out the building. No, seriously, man. If you don't have a name behind yourself, you don't have anything, your first fight, they're gonna tell you $350 to show up and $350 to win. Now, that's a grand total of $700
Yeah.
if you win. And God forbid you go out there and get knocked out,
And then you'll get paid nothing.
you get paid $350. You get paid, but I'm
But
telling
see
you, I've seen.
that money not going towards your doctor bill.
Yeah, I got insurance for you. They're gonna send you to the doctor. They gonna take care of you. They're gonna send you to the doctor. They're gonna send you to the doctor. But but that, like I say, that's pro pay. That's local pro pay. Okay, they're 500, 750. About the most you're gonna get at a pro show, main event type. I mean, on a local scale, is about $1,500. To show up and $1,500 to win, which is about 3 grand. And those they're paying guys that are 15 fights into their career. That it's not a lot of money in the actual fight getting paid from the promotion. No, once again, it's in the entertainment industry. Usually, they do allow for ticket sales, a portion of the ticket sales to come into the fighters. But other than that, that's the end of the build. I mean, the business is pretty much like a dead end at this point because the fighters are the focal point and the driving point of all of these smaller MMA promotions. When I say that, I mean only thing these guys are providing them with are a stage and a venue and a lot of a lot of times they're giving them some streaming service now. They're giving them a little bit of a platform, but I mean, shoot, half of these places, over half of them, don't even have a streaming service that they're attached to. So literally they're fighting in a room, and if you're not in that room, you don't know.
What is the best streaming service to have that you
Um,
recommend?
Fight TV is really good. They have a really wide subscription base, over 18 million subscribers, so your potential to be seen is immense there. For a fighter, UFC Fight Pass, if you can get on the UFC Fight Pass, that's pretty good. As a fighter, because everybody that has access to the UFC will be able to see you. It's a wonderful tool for a fighter, but as a promotion, it's it's a it's a it's a big. I wouldn't be a fan of the UFC Fight Pass if I were a promotion. Like I said, I would want to grow organically under my own umbrella as opposed to limiting myself to the UFC's growth. But that's just me personally. Um, but that's just what we teach them is you want to look for the opportunity, right? Because you're not gonna. I tell them, look, bro. No, but that same thing that said you get paid your first paycheck $350 to win $350. Okay, say you win, you get $700. But what I do and what I focus on is teaching these guys how you can go and get $500 from this sponsor, $500 from this sponsor, $500 from this sponsor, $500 from this sponsor. So that before the fight even happened, you've made 2 grand, and then that $700 is just 350 $700 is cherry, it's just icing on the cake.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That's where the business is. That's what you got to look for, is the opportunity that these promotions are providing for you.
yeah,
And that's where we come in with the education, because once again, These guys are looking at it and they're like, oh, I mean, like I said, they're fighting over pennies, peanuts
They are.
and
Yeah.
pennies. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I'm like, dude, yeah, you can get paid $1,000 here, but, or, you might get paid $3,000 here, but they don't even have a streaming service, or, it's not, you're not going to be seen. You're not going to move your career forward. You're going to get a payday right here, right now. But you come over here and go out of town to this other promotion. One, you're going to get more fans, get your social media content, what I'm saying, get your social media out there so that you're more valuable to these other promotions. They see that you have the ability to be seen, that you can sell tickets, that you can sell pay-per-views. That's what they're looking for. They don't care how many black belts you got. They don't care how many people in the, they don't care anything about that. They care how many butts you can put in the seat. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And when the fighters realize that that is a main part of their job and a main reason for why they can get pushed forward to these organizations like the UFC, Bellator, that that's when they're going to start seeing that growth, and we're going to start getting better pay opportunities. Like I said, could you imagine getting paid $5,000 in sponsorships and then promotion is like, yeah, we're going to pay you 500. You're going to say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a part of that. I have the opportunity to be more picky. I don't have to, I can pick and choose my opponents more. I can pick and choose what promotions that I want to
Exactly.
go to.
Exactly.
That's what it's about,
Mhm.
leveraging what you're doing right now. And like I said, I tell these guys, man, the only skill you need to work with homegrown MMA is the willingness to get punched in the face on TV.
Mm.
That's what you get paid for. That is
Wow.
it.
The will
Like,
to get punched in the
you
face
know,
and to get back up. So
well, I mean, so my friend,
yeah,
you
I'm still here.
disappeared.
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm
So,
right here. Yeah,
there you
but
go.
yeah, I'm right here. I just had to reset my camera again. But
Okay, everything.
I was gonna say now leaving a legacy. Now, we all want people to know what we accomplish here in life, right? And everything we do. Passing on our skills, our knowledge, and our experience to the next generation. We work too hard not to. But what do you want to be remembered for from your career?
I want to be remembered as the man who changed MMA for the better, who changed everything from that. Because where I see right now and the growth that I see is I want to put the power in the fighter's hands.
Mm,
Right now, it's not in their hands.
uh-huh.
You look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, they have power. They're getting paid.
They
They
do.
control
They
their
do.
careers.
They do.
Now,
They
I
do.
want to I want to create that type of environment for the MMA fighters. That's my main goal on this planet, and that's what I'm striving towards every day.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what? That's a very important point you made because I can think about in the recent years, during that generation, LeBron James changed the culture. But NBA players had more control. Him and Chris Paul, I think. Kobe Bryant played a part in that too. But in football, probably most of Tom Brady because those guys really controlled their deals, the contracts. You know, they weren't just controlled by the league so much. And it's
Right. And
important because, like I said, these athletes are people too. They have families, they have career goals just like we do. Because life goes on beyond the sport.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we have to be taken care of once we start playing professionally anyway.
Right. So, like I
Yeah,
said, that legacy is important,
yeah,
and as for any athlete or anybody that's dealing in the sport world, but that's definitely something that I do think about, and so that's why I'm working behind the scenes. I just want to give a shout out to K2S Combat, a promotion that I started working with. There are some good
yeah,
ones out there.
yeah.
K2S Combat, Imperial XL. Um, there's some promotions that I work with that I'm able to make sure that the fighters have everything that they need. Now,
Mhm.
like I say, K2S Combat is just getting started, but we're having $100,000 Grand Prix tournament. That's something that the MMA community needs sorely. High paying jobs. I mean, high paying, high reward,
Yeah,
for what they're doing. We're still paying them top dollar for the pay for the fights that they're doing, which giving them travel, opportunities to be seen, promotion. That is what I'm looking to do is to provide those opportunities for the fighters because I know what it feels like to go through the MMA career and to, to need help with training, to need help with travel, to need all of those things. But it's passion. You're gonna do it. And you're gonna do it. And if I could, I want to always be the type of person that I want to be the person for myself that, or for someone else that I wish that were there for me.
Mm,
And
absolutely. I feel the
that's
same way
where
about my career journey. Yes. I had a lot of important figures, to help me along the way, but I want to continue being an inspiration and pass on to that younger person who I run across. Because it's gonna
absolutely,
happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be that older guy to pull, to pull that young guy up. You know what I mean?
absolutely. That's it, and that's the most some of the most rewarding aspects of this job is when I get on the phone and talk to these guys who didn't know they were obligated to get money for travel and hotels and or don't
Right.
know how to talk to a sponsor. And I sit down and talk to them and they get off the phone with me and they're like, oh man, this is awesome. And then the next day they hit me up and say, guess what, man, I just got a sponsor. And then the next week they're like, I got 3, 4 sponsors. Man, thank you so much. My career is really moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there means the world to me. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
it ain't even about dollars or anything like that. It's giving these guys the opportunity to
Yeah.
chase what they want to do.
Yeah.
Because I've been on that journey, and unfortunately, the reason I don't form any, or the reason I don't fight anymore, is tore my ACL and
Mm.
meniscus in the fight. The
I'm
injuries,
gonna
right?
ask
It's a short time, short time
you.
that you get an opportunity to do this, and you
Wow.
don't think about these things until
No.
after your career is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And that's why
Mm.
once I had the injury and I saw the need and started doing my research about the community and where the money was, how do you make the money, right? How I'm injured. How can I continue this career? How can I support my family? How can I provide while I'm injured? And that's what got me on this thought path and this process and this researching journey.
Right.
And as I got more angry and more frustrated and mad, the longer that I got into it, and I was like, man, this is the worst. Like, the guys who are doing all the work, the fighters, I mean, they're literally, when I say doing all the work, they are doing all the work as far as putting on the fight. And then they're also doing all the promotion. They sell all the tickets. The reason that you don't know about these MMA promotions, these 300 to 400 MMA promotions that are all around the United States, is because they don't spend money on marketing. They do not spend money on marketing. They just allow the
Right.
fighters to sell tickets because what you're doing
Mm.
for the fighter is you're creating a platform for them to be seen as what they want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got one opportunity to tell everybody in my community, everybody that I've ever known, to see me in this light as a professional fighter, you better
Right.
believe I'm going to go and put in that work. You know what I mean? These guys are, and that's the crazy part. Like I said, that's what frustrates me so much is the mind control that's going on
Yeah.
in the community because
Yeah.
these guys will literally go out and sell $5,000, $10,000 worth of tickets and believe and get paid, $1,000, maybe another $500 with ticket sales. And then they'll believe that they're not valuable,
Man.
and
That's
they'll go
crazy
out and believe,
because
and they'll say, so
uh-huh.
what?
I said that's crazy because I was gonna ask you like like what caused you to take a break from MMA, but now you said the injuries. But what other type of exploitations do you want to make, let's say younger athletes aware of? Like I said, you already identified one, poor marketing strategies. And being aware of injuries, condition themselves to avoid injuries and what to do when injury occurs. What are some other exploitations you want to make these athletes aware of?
So this is not really it's exploitation because it's this lack of education, right? But once again, what I want every fighter to know is that you are valuable and that you're getting paid for is not your ability to fight, but your content creation. So when you sign these contracts with these fights, the most valuable thing that you can get from them isn't the money, it's the video. All right.
Mm.
If you can get that video and the audio content of everything that you do for that promotion, you will be on equal footing with that promotion. So that's the exploitation that I it's not exploitation because that's the name of the game. It's content. They're gonna take that, they're gonna pay you for that content that you just created, and they're gonna put it on YouTube or whatever, and you're gonna show people on YouTube. But if you have a personal copy of that, you can add it to your highlight videos, your sponsorship videos, all of these things that you can do and create value for your social media, for everything, for yourself as well. And that's going to get you a long way.
Yeah.
So, like I said, just understand, be aware of what you are bringing to the table, why you're being paid, and then we can work from there. Like that's the first thing that I teach everybody is what do they want from you? Why are you valuable? And then let's break it down and look at what everybody else wants. What can you do for everybody else based off of your value and the value that you can provide? So it's like I said, I do seminars, I train managers, mixed martial arts managers.
Oh.
That's also something that I would say is exploitative, because people don't know how to. I am not a manager.
Uh-huh.
People ask me to manage them all the time, but I can't. I cannot be like nobody can. Nobody. If that's what I teach these guys is like, look, these guys have management companies, and they're out here. One guy is out here trying to manage 20, 30, 40, 50 guys, right? And they're literally, I'm like, that's not management. The only thing they're doing is scheduling fights.
Right.
Scheduling fights. And so what I do is I teach these guys, these managers, one, I provide them with contacts and networking opportunities to actually get to a better level. These guys at Bellator, PFL, helping them make the connections, the network to actually be able to help their clients. And then I teach them how to get sponsors, how to build a plan with their fighter for success. And then also, it's a lot of it's networking as well, is connect them to the people that are going to help their fighter get exposure. They're going to help bring their fighter up in the community. That's management. That's how you help get somebody to the next level. But as of right now, man, I'd say I can only name two or three managers off the top of my head that I know focus on sponsorships and exposure as well as fight man. I mean, getting the fights. Most people just focus on they make the connection to the MMA promotion and say, okay, cool, I can get you in here and I can get you in there. And then they just get, that's it. That's all they're doing. And, I can't tell you how many people hit me up on a weekly basis asking me to be their manager. And I'm like, they already have managers. I'm like, I just can't do it because it's not right for me I can't focus enough energy on your career to get you where you want to be. So I just give them the education. You teach a man to fish, he can
That's
eat for
important
a
though.
lifetime.
That's important because they need the structure and the fundamentals to go behind it because nobody I never heard anybody identify those things that you identified tonight. Where, number one, like I say, identifying the poor marketing strategies, negotiating the salaries because I really never heard about that. I don't know if many people even know about that. So,
No, they don't. That,
like I said, that's very important.
well, like I said, half of education is raising awareness, right?
Hmm. And
Yeah,
also too, oh,
people.
now this right here, as a new MMA fighter coming into this, this arena,
Okay, okay.
what type of reputation would you advise them to try to build for themselves?
First and foremost, be professional, even as an amateur. That's one of the big things I do is you want to be professional, even as an amateur. There are some sins in this sport that will have you blacklisted before you ever get a career started. So if you're gonna schedule a fight, show up. I'm serious. Show up and show up on weight.
Yeah.
Okay. You waste everybody's time. Do not, this is not something that you just get up and say, oh, I'm gonna do. No. If you're not willing to take that fight, if you don't have everything ready, all your ducks in a row before you take that fight, don't even take it. Because
Mm.
people are spending, like I said, they're not getting paid much, but they're taking 2, 3 months of their time training, spending all this money, not eating. I'm telling you, man, shoot, man, I'm going to Thanksgiving, they gotta go birthdays and all kind of stuff. They gotta look at that food, man. Just they gotta look at it. And it's disrespectful to the organization and to your fighter and to everyone involved when somebody doesn't show up. And that happens a lot of time. Like I said, it is especially on the lower levels. These guys they'll schedule a fight and say that, okay, yeah, cool. I want to get the photo, the promo opportunity, I'll take a picture and get it on a poster and then put it on Facebook and then never show up for the fight. You know what I'm saying? And that right there will get you blacklisted. That like even if you even like the biggest there's a role for everybody. Even if you don't have the skills yet and you want to be a fighter, just show up, be consistent, treat it like a a real profession, and you'll go far. Like
Right.
the people, that's the most important thing because once again, you gotta treat it like it's professional, treat it like it's your brand, treat it like it's your business. You got to go out there and sell tickets because everybody that you sell tickets to, you got to understand if you can sell them a ticket, you can sell them a t-shirt. Get
Right.
your branding, get your merchandise out there. If they're buying from you, they're a customer. They're a
Yeah.
customer for the first you're selling the business and then you're selling yourself. All right. So that's how I would tell you guys to work on doing that is just be cognizant of what you're doing. Just understand what is really going on.
Yeah. Right.
If you're valuable the minute you start fighting. The minute that you sell a ticket, you have value and you have the ability to make money in this sport.
Yeah, nice, nice. And what do you feel has separated you from the rest of your competition throughout your career?
Uh, First, I liked from the fight game to the behind the scenes. I like to do research. I think that's probably what separates me. I come from passion. No matter what it is I do, whether it's fighting or helping the fighters, everything I do it 100% to my fullest extent. And like I say, just that research, just understanding, trying to look at things from a different way. And what I like, most of these businesses are looking to exploit the fighter. Everything that I do is looking at trying, how can I help benefit the fighter? That's my entire business model, is how can I help the fighter move ahead? And that is not where most people come in and they look and say, well, how can I benefit? Or how can I come up? And I know that's what separates me right now from everybody else is I look fighter first, and then I believe in the fighters to do what they need to do. I've seen it. I've seen enough proof. They sell tickets. They are the business. They create the content. I'm gonna align myself with them and help make their lives easier and give them the opportunity and rise on that level.
Okay, I see. Just stepping out on that passion, following your dream all the way through. Now, if you
Yes,
could
sir.
step inside the ring with anybody, know where I'm going with this. Who would it be? Would you choose Money Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, or Adonis Creed?
If I can step in the ring with anybody?
Yeah, who would it be?
Oh, that's an easy question.
Oh man,
It,
I want to see you gonna pick.
it ain't no fighter now. It ain't no fighter now. But and I tell you, shoot, I step in the ring with George Zimmerman.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and,
step in the ring with.
and tell me, why do you say that? Why him of all people? You say he's not even a fighter.
He's not a fighter.
Right.
I'll tell you why. Because I thought about this long and hard before you even asked me the question. But two reasons. One, I get, you always want to kill two birds with one stone, but it would be a awesome opportunity for me to represent do some things I wanted to always do, have always wanted to do.
Such
And
as
then also two, it would sell tickets.
it would.
It
But
would sell tickets.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that fight will last long at all.
No, I know it would not. Shit, it would. I would try my best to
I
to.
think by the time y'all get out there and warm up and introduce yourselves, I mean it probably need to go 5 minutes after
No, you see a death stare. I'm telling you, I might, like I said, I
that.
might lose my mind on that one. But if I could get him to scale, if I could sign that up, get him to agree to that, and then make that happen, I think that would be my fight. That would be the fight I want to take. That would be the fight I would take. That would be it, though. I've kept that answer for a long time now. So
You really thought about this. I can tell.
yeah, I would fuck him up on camera. Yeah, yeah.
So man, tell us real quick. What's your website? Where can listeners find you online?
So check us out, man. So we on homegrownmma.com. You can check us out there. That's where you're gonna find some of the videos that I have posted for the fighters. We also write articles. We do write-ups on promotions, and we also promote and highlight the fighters as well. Like I say, we want to try to first educate, and then we want to provide that platform for them to be seen as well. So
Yeah.
that's homegrownmma.com. And then also, if you guys are looking to fight, do some you want to look into joining to getting $100,000, K2SCombat.com. Go check us out. We have a fight on April 15th, and we will be selling tickets on the K2SCombat.com. And then Imperial XL, if you guys are amateur and you want to have an opportunity at eventually fight for K2S Combat, or just want to get your name known, then ImperialXL.com is also where I would go to get signed up and try to get my feet wet into the MMA community and MMA market.
Man, that's awesome. Awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. And as we get to wrap up tonight, tell me real quick. I asked you a lot of questions tonight, but what is one question that you probably wish I would have asked you? And yeah,
One question that I wish you would have asked.
something that you probably want everybody to know.
Something I want everybody to know is, I mean, not necessarily a question, but just I want everybody to know that they believe in themselves and work hard, that they can achieve anything on this earth that they want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
Hmm.
that's the message. If you believe in yourself, no matter what anybody else tells you, if you see it in your head and you work towards it, you can achieve it.
Yep.
Just keep going, keep grinding, and
Yep.
anytime they ask what time it is, you let them know it's right now. You know
Right
what I'm saying?
now, man, my man, hey, give me a fist bump right there. Oh, bam,
That's
that's what
your
I'm
what.
talking about.
That's
Yeah,
how we do that. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
that. I like that, man. So, one motto that I like to live by, leaving no stone unturned. So you don't have to never ask, what if I would have done this different. Now you know, because when you had the opportunity, you put your best foot forward and you explored all opportunities, all options there. That's how you want to live,
Absolutely.
you know? And so
Absolutely.
learning from all wins and losses. I believe playing sports. I'm an athlete myself. I'm playing basketball since I was 6 years old. I ran track in high school too. Played a little college ball too. But I was gonna say, playing sports, you learn how to deal with your wins and your losses. It builds character, it builds a lot of responsibility. It teach you how to work along with others, work in a team structure. There's no I in team. I don't care if you're LeBron James or Michael Jordan. There's still no I in team. Those guys are great, but they still have to respect the teammates and play along with them. And
Mhm.
believe in each of their abilities.
Absolutely. And in any sport, even in my sport, even in mixed martial arts, it's a singular one person's out there in the cage, but it's a team of people that have helped build them up and get them to that point. So, you got to learn how to work with a team, and that's exactly, I think that's a wonderful way to sum it all up.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. So, man, thanks for stopping by right now radio tonight, Brandon. Appreciate all the good wisdom and advice you share with our audience. And look out for us. We're available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, Radio Public. Those are a couple ways you can find us, even on YouTube as well. Just Rite Now Radio. And that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. And I look forward to having you again, my brother.
Well, I'd love to have it, man. Just let me know what time it is, and then I'll be up there right now. All
Right
right.
now, right now.
All
That's
right.
what I'm talking about. Yep, that's gonna do it, everybody. We'll wrap it
All
up.
right.
All have a good night.